Hi everyone, how are you today? Hope you're well. I'm getting some more results in and I'm so proud of everyone. Everyone's doing super well, losing weight. Yeah, it is a shock when you have to recalculate your macros. Doesn't seem a lot less, but you're like, oh my God, I've done all that work and now I'm going to get less food. Yeah, I always remember when I was competing, you kind of have this scenario for about 4 months, sometimes a lot longer. Some years I was in, training deficit, calorie deficit for, a good period of time. I remember competing once at the British, Pure Elite British, and then I had to weigh, which was obviously, I think it was January the 1st I started, something like that, and then it was exactly 12 weeks. And before the winter before that, I was in a calorie surplus where I got to build muscle and eat lots and lots and lots of food. And you do get a lot of food, but when you've set your body up to become like a fat burning machine, it wiped right through the food really fast, and literally you could set your watch by when you'd get hungry, so it literally within sort of 10 minutes before 3 hours you'd be like, oh, it must be time to eat, because like my body's calling for it, and it would be. But I remember that I had competed on the 1st of, I think it was like 1st of April or 4th or something like that. And then I had to wait to the, I did really well at the British, and then we decided that I was going to do the European, well, we decided before, and it was kind of like a backup plan if I hadn't done well at the British, but I did do extremely well at the British. And then we decided to go for the Europeans, which was obviously in another country, but it was kind of like 5 weeks off, and there was not enough time for me to go up in calories and then back down again, so I had to stay kind of stuck, keeping as much muscle as possible, and then without really losing any weight, just trying to get a bit leaner but without losing muscle. And there was quite a long period of time where I had to kind of sit at the same weight, and that was hard because I remember it was over Easter. And I know some of you will be doing the challenge over Easter. And I kind of had to say to myself, because when you're competing, you end up being completely sugar-free. So there's no your cravings go. But your brain still knows that you would desire this chocolate. And so, and then it's just everywhere. But I knew that if I had one piece, I'd want more, and then it would bring my cravings back and all that kind of stuff. So I decided, obviously, I wasn't going to eat. But it was very, very hard. And I remember there was a period of time, I don't know if it was then, but there was a period of time that Danny, my eldest son, who's a world champion Thai boxer now, bless him, I'm so proud of him. But I remember he would go to the supermarket and he would pick food up and smell it because he couldn't eat it because he was cutting weight. And then I would probably sometimes do the same, but for chocolate, because chocolate has a smell, doesn't it? And I used to go and I'd be like smelling it. I know it sounds crazy, things that you do, that you put your mind, but it is mind, it's mind games. And competing is about doing all the things that you can do. You can go to the gym, that's the easiest bit. Going to the gym and, developing the muscles is the easiest bit. And prepping all the food, doing all the food, I don't mind all that. Prepping the food was hard for me because I'm not a good cooker. Like, I don't even know how to say the word. I'm not good at cooking. I blame my mother for that because we grew up in a hotel and she never cooked, and she still never does. And I have to, but I'm not. I'm not the world's best cook. But I had to learn, and I had to prep all my food, and I find it hard as well because I am an organised person. That's the wrong thing to say about myself. I'm not really that organised. I'm not really. I'm more of a wing it kind of person. But to be really good at competing, you have to be very precise and you have to be very consistent. So those kind of things were harder for me. But the whole thing about competing is your mental state and how your mind plays tricks with you. And you know, the people that do well in competing have a real strong mental state of mind, because there's days when you don't know why you're doing it, or you want to give up, or those kind of things. So I understand, you know, if you're suddenly craving something, or you're thinking about something that you might have had to cut out for the time being. I totally understand. I've been there, but do not let the devil side of your mind tell you what to do. You are in charge, so you get to say what you're going to do. I had no idea I was going to talk about this when I turned the button on live, but you never know what I'm going to talk about. In fact, I never know what I'm going to talk about. I just open my mouth and it all comes out. Anyway, well, actually what I was going to talk about was really super proud of everybody, super proud of those you know, inches, centimeters that are coming off, because that always really helps people's motivation. Is when the trousers feel looser and all those kind of things. That's super exciting, and you can do buttons up and they're not pulling, and zips up and things like that. That's always lovely. Coffee. Someone asked me about coffee again. Yes, I still do drink coffee. I only ever drink it black. I don't have any cow's milk or anything like that. You could have almond milk in it. I don't. I just got used to it, because you can't have that when you're competing. Although I don't have it past 2 o'clock, because sleep is important, and it's more important to me. So I tend to go for, I showed you this before, this green tea matcha. There's quite a few of them. I think I bought this at Amazon actually. It gives you energy, sustained energy over long periods of time, so you don't get the peaks and troughs that you get with caffeine. And what I do with this is like a powder, and I do half a teaspoon in a blender with, it's previously been boiled but just cooled down slightly. Whisk it up, and then it's like a green tea, and then you can just keep topping up from that. It's good, it's nice. When you compete and things like that, you tend to find alternatives. And also, sometimes if you've got to wait for 3 hours, but you've got your body to be such a machine that it wants that food, sort of screaming for that food at 3 hours. Sometimes you've had a period of time and you've got like half an hour to kill or something like that before you're allowed to have your exact food. Because when you compete, it's exact timings. Yeah, we used to drink a lot of teas, like, and also I would use the little the loose leaf and things like that, because then you fanny about with that and it gives you time. And then earlier on in the day it would be the cafetiere, so it takes longer to brew, and it's kind of like a thing that you do rather than just a quick instant. It's something to kill time in between your next meal. So echinacea and raspberry, that's quite a nice one. And also echinacea is sort of health benefits. Obviously loads of green tea. They're all green tea. There's boxes of them in my house. I actually really liked ginger. Quite like that one. So they're nice. You can have all of them. And yeah, discover the ones that you like. Find your favourites. So yeah, if anybody has got any questions, let me know. If you like my videos, thumbs up, yay, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye bye everyone.